Do you want to start building agents without having to pay for the subscription or extensive tokens? In this video, I will explain how you can use a specific GPT and projects in your free ChatGPT account to start automating with agents. So let's get started. Yes, so you might have heard a lot about agentic AI nowadays. And when we talk about agentic AI, it means that nowadays we can kind of design agents that can really help us in automating workflows. Now, developers and experts will do this in tools like Codex or Cloud Cowork, but for these tools, you need a subscription and you will need to do some technicalities. So what I actually want to show you in this video is how you can build agents in your free ChatGPT account using one single prompt. Now, when we want to start building agents, we actually need to do two things. We need to build what is called instructions. So we need to describe what the agent will have to do. And these instructions we need to kind of embed in what is called an agent.md file, which is actually simply a text file describing what the agent should do. And on top of that, we can give agents specific skills. And these skills we need to describe in a skill.md file. So experts will spend a lot of time in describing the agent and skills in particular files. But now I will show you a GPT that will actually do these steps for you based on the input that you provide. So let me show you the ChatGPT GPT that you can use for that. Yeah, so now I'm in my ChatGPT account, and now we simply have to scroll to explore GPTs. So when I now go to search GPTs, I can search for the First Agent Builder, and this is the GPT that we will need. And then I can simply press on Start Chat, and now I can simply type in start. And now you will see that the GPT asks me to describe in a few sentences my daily work and what part of my daily work are actually most repetitive, because there we have potential for automation. So that's what I will now do, not by writing, but actually by using the dictate option here. Yes, I'm a professor at a business school, and one of the most repetitive tasks that I have is to write reference letters for students. So it would be great to help me in automating so that I can really focus on the value added part of writing a reference letter. Okay, so now I've provided my prompt, and now I can simply press enter. And now this GPT will start thinking about how can we automate this activity. And what it will do for me is actually to write an agent.md file and a skill.md file, where the agent.md file will be the instructions and the skill.md file will be a specific capability that we want to give to our agent. And then we can integrate these two things in a specific project. So let me first briefly show you now what it has written. So here we see the agent.md file, which is simply kind of a long description of what this agent is supposed to do. And then it actually is now also writing a skill.md file. So let me go here to the skill.md file. Yes, so the supporting skill that it created is a reference letter evidence synthesizer. So that's then a skill that I can use on top of that. And here is the description of the skill. So now let me show you how we can leverage this agent description and skill description in a project. Yes, so I now opened a new ChatGPT window, and now I will go not to GPTs, but to projects. And now I want to create a new project, and I will call that project reference writer agent. So that's my project. And then I can go here to the project settings. And here I need to add instructions. Yes, and now I go back to my ChatGPT GPT output. And then I go to the part where it has described my agent.md file. And then I can simply here click on copy, go back to the project. And now I just copy paste in these instructions here. And then I have already the instructions for my agent. And you see, these are quite extensive instructions that of course can further fine tune. But now let's just save it for the first time. And as the skill I want to add as a source. Yeah? So here I can click on sources, and then I want to upload my skill. Now to do so, I go back to my GPT, and now I go to the description of my skill.md. So that's here. So here I have the description of my skill, and now I will copy that, and then I will simply open here on my Windows computer a notepad notepad where I can create a text file. So then I will paste it into a text file, and then I will save that text file. So now I just go here to Files and Save Under, and let's save this in my downloads. I will call this skill.md. So I will do here save. And then I can add this text file to my new project as a source. Yeah, so now I will upload this. So if I click now here, I can go to upload, and now I simply upload this downloaded file. So that's my skill.md file. Now in this case, I want to also add as context an example of a reference letter. So now I will simply go to my computer and add an additional source, and this will be a template of a reference letter that I want to add. Okay, so now I've added my template recommendation letter, and now my agent is ready. So I've given it instructions, I've given it already a skill, and I've given it a template. And now I can start using this agent, and for instance, I can now again use the dictaphone option to start kind of instructing a prompt. Yes, I'm Dries Vaams, professor at WHU Otto Beisheim School of Management, and I need to write a reference letter for Jonas Kenis. Jonas has followed my bachelor course on entrepreneurship and was an excellent student that showed a lot of proactive behavior, and he actually was great in using AI tools to brainstorm on a specific startup idea. Jonas wants to do a master at the London Business School in the management of science, and I would really like to recommend him as a great asset for this program. So this is now the prompt that I provided. And now I can simply press enter, and now my agent can start writing a reference letter for me. Yes, and so now the agent is ready. So it has interpreted the task, has enabled the skill, applies some assumptions, has retrieved some evidence from my prompts, and based on that, it has now drafted a first reference letter for me that I could immediately copy paste here into a Word document. And of course, this reference letter will not yet be 100% accurate, and I'm still responsible for that reference letter, so I need to double check everything, of course. But in that way, at least I have already a very good customized and personalized draft. So I hope this can show you how you can now start experimenting with building agents without having to have a complex subscription model or an API and pay for tokens. Actually, in your free ChatGPT account, in this way, you can actually already start building your first agents yourself to automate workflows. So I hope this was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if this made sense to you. And thanks for your attention. Bye.